Well, actually, I got started in my career during college. My husband and I were married in our junior year of college, and we needed income to supplement our college careers, and we became apartment managers. We were not studying real estate. My husband's major was psychology, and mine was teaching physical education. After we graduated, we went on to do other things, and actually came back to it as an accident, if you will. Our family was involved in doing some property management, and they asked us if we would be interested in coming to work with them as a maintenance man and an assistant manager. And so we took that opportunity and really enjoyed it. We didn't enjoy working for family, but we enjoyed the business, if you will. And after that, we decided that we wanted to stay in the career in real estate and property management. So we started looking for other employment. And basically what I did was went to the yellow pages, looked under real estate, under property management companies, and started cold calling them. I started with A and then went to Z, then came back to B, and so on and so forth, and called various property management companies and told them that my husband and I were assistant manager, maintenance person, and we were looking for an opportunity with their company and wanted to know if they had any positions available that we could interview for. And a few companies called us back, and a few companies called us in for interviews, and we took a job with a company that we ended up being there, beginning with them as a manager and maintenance person, and being with them for 16 years, ending up being minority shareholder partners. And my husband became the president of the company, and I became the vice president of the company. And after 16 years, we decided then to go out on our own. And I started with my husband the current company that we now own and operate. Well, Solari Enterprises is a full-service property management company that maintains a portfolio of approximately 50 apartment communities, and they're mainly affordable housing, and we service people that are special needs people, are senior citizens, and affordable housing for families. We're not involved in building yet, though that is one of our goals, is to develop from the ground up. We have purchased buildings and rehab them and turn them around, and we own those that we've purchased. But basically, at this point, our main focus is managing for other people and other clients. Our organization's mission is to provide high-quality, affordable housing and to maintain a high level of ethics and integrity and to be responsive to our clients. Our competitive advantage is our passion. We are relentless in doing the job right, and we're very passionate about what we do. Both Bruce and I know that why we're here, our mission in life, is to provide high-quality, affordable housing, and we're passionate about it. Integrity, ethics, honesty, I think those are very, very important. The skills that you need to have when you found a company are technical. You need to know pretty much everything, how to do everything there is to do. You need to know how to do the financials. You need to know how to do regulatory, in our work, regulatory work for apartments. You need to know how to do you need to know how to answer the phone. But once you've gone past the beginnings of a company, you really need to have leadership skills. You need to have the skills to be able to delegate jobs. You need to be able to lead people, and instead of being on the technical end, you need to manage people well. You need to also be a visionary. You need to look at where your company is going and how it's going to get there. Where when you first start a company, you're more involved in making it happen. And I think there are two distinct differences in starting a company and running a company. You have to know what your role is. And as a role of a CEO, my main role is visioning for the company. Now, I have to delegate the financial part of the company to my controller. And when we first started, I did the financials. I did the balance sheet. I made sure everything was in its proper place, that all the rents were being collected, that all the bills were being paid, and didn't have the time to really look into the future of where the company was going to go and how it was going to get there. So I knew there were certain jobs that had to be delegated to specific people in order for the company to run well while I did my job. Interestingly, no, because we had established a relationship with a community bank for many years and had shared our vision of starting a new company with them. Oh, I'd say maybe 5 years before we had actually started our company and gone out on our own. So our community bank knew where we were going and knew us and actually supported us, and feeling very strongly that we were going to succeed in what we were doing. So they actually took a risk with us hand in hand as we went forward, and to this day they're very, very happy that they did that. I think the biggest challenge in my career was working with a partner that had questionable ethical standards. And I worked with this person for a while and decided that the only way I could overcome this challenge was to start my own business. And so I made that decision, made the plans, and went out and started the business I'm in today. Actually, for the first year of business, we were in litigation with our previous partner because he was saying we were taking clients from him. And in fact, what happened was the clients wanted to come with us. When they found out that we were starting our own business, they wanted to come with us rather than stay with the partner. So we were actually, our first year of business, in litigation for that entire year with our previous partner. Glad to say that we actually won the litigation and were able to go on. It was very distracting. It was very difficult, and the money that went out for the attorneys was enormous. But in the end, what we did was the right thing to do, and we were rewarded for doing the right thing. Dealing with people, dealing with our team members comes the easiest, and training. I love working with people. I love teaching, and that comes the easiest to me. I enjoy motivating our team members. I enjoy sharing my passion for what we do. That's the easiest thing for me. Labor law. Labor law is so challenging. It's difficult for me to understand how people can use the labor laws in the state of California against employers so nonchalantly, and maybe that's not the right word I'm looking for, but so cavalier, that I think labor law is good in its concept, but I think it's abused tremendously. And that's very difficult for me to accept as an employer. It's hard for me to accept when we are following the standards, following the law to the letter. We're very, very diligent in doing that, but having people come back to abuse the law that have worked with you and that you've worked with, that's I think the most difficult thing for me to deal with. Knowing that we've done everything that we can do to the letter of the law, and realizing that everything in life isn't fair and there's compromise. So if the previous employee is not being honest and they win, those things happen. You have to go on with life, and you have to go on with the work and continue to do the best that you can and shore up where you may have fallen short or something has slipped through the cracks, make it right. And that's how we go on. And knowing that really, in heart, people are good, and we hire, I believe, well, and we hire people that share our passion. Well, actually, I do, and well, it's not a secret. It's I think it's taught in a lot of time management classes. But I try to handle paper once. I try to handle situations once, or put them into a time that I will come to handle them. For instance, if I have a letter that I need to respond to, and I can have a week to respond to it, I put it in my system for 3 days from now, and it'll come out, and I will answer that letter then. I don't like to handle paper more than once. If I handle it more than once, the second time it should go into the trash. So that's how I deal with time management. I don't know that it's a secret, but I think it's being relentless to provide good service. I think that we talk to our clients, we let them know that we're going to make mistakes. Everyone makes them, but what we will do is be relentless to correct that mistake and make sure that it doesn't happen again. I don't know that we've changed any business practices, but we've added to it, and that's to become more aware of being green and working with our clients who are developers and being green. Sometimes our clients look to us for additional information, so we're becoming more educated in what it means to have a more environmentally sound apartment communities. If that would be no smoking in the buildings at all, if that would mean having photovoltaic systems that would generate electricity in the buildings, as well as then putting it back onto the grid. So the more we learn about it, the more we can be of assistance to our clients. Face-to-face. I prefer to communicate face-to-face. I think you relay your message well face-to-face, much better than you would by telephone, by email. Not to say that the electronic methods aren't important. I do prefer face-to-face, but I do use a lot of electronic email, communication through email, and we do that a lot in our company as well. They bring a foundation at a young age or a younger age that you don't normally have until you've been in business for a long period of time. An MBA holder has the exposure to a lot of different facets of education that they would bring to the table. I think that's a foundation that can be built on that takes many years in business to build. My personal goal is to live life to the fullest. It's important to me after a major health issue I had to deal with that I live life to the fullest every day. That means I enjoy coming to work, I enjoy my family, I enjoy working with our team members, I enjoy the business of our business, which means I enjoy reading the regulations, I enjoy implementing the regulations, I enjoy going to trade associations, I enjoy being involved with our service organizations, and I'm a member of Rotary. I enjoy that tremendously because Rotary is a service organization, and I enjoy giving back to the community. I enjoy saying hello to our controller every day. I've tried to not get caught in the negative pieces because there's negative every day. One day we've gotten calls where we've lost one of our biggest clients, and that's devastating. But I can't live in the devastated world. I have to live in what opportunity, what door is going to open. I accept that we've lost our biggest client. Why did we lose our biggest client? What could we have done better? And what door is going to open for us? And are we going to be ready for that? Let's get ready for that door to open. I have two, my mother and my father. They are from the greatest generation. My father was in World War II, and my mom, who was a Navy wife and had to raise 4 kids while her husband was in the Navy and going all over the world, was phenomenal. Those are my role models. They from the greatest generation. If I could be half of what they were and do half of what they did, and be as successful as they were in life, I would be a very happy person. When you think of the biggest thing I had to deal with was losing a client, and in my father's business was being bombed at Pearl Harbor. Let's kind of weigh that out, and really losing a client isn't that big of a deal, and you come back from it. My father being at Pearl Harbor, he came back from it. He survived that and went on to actually being on board 6 ships that were sunk, and survived that as well, and came back to San Diego to be a drill instructor for the Navy, and finished the war out in San Diego as a drill instructor. He not only survived, he actually thrived. And what a role model. I can do the same thing in what I'm exposed to today. And if that's losing a client, that's losing a client, and you come back to thrive. And I think that's how it ties back to what I had said earlier in these role models of the great generation. It really, truly were. And my mother, being his mate, being his spouse, and being with him, and having to raise a family on her own and support him. And can you imagine having to stand at on a dock with 4 young kids, waving goodbye to your husband, knowing you wouldn't see him and for at least 6 months, and hoping that he wouldn't be killed? You know, it's amazing. She's an amazing woman, amazing woman. I do. It's Who Moved My Cheese, and it's, as they say, an amazing book about change. And I love change, and I always want to be prepared for it. So I would recommend it very highly to read if anyone is interested in management, or just in life. In fact, I made it a mandatory reading in the home office for our manager staff level people. Well, both my husband and I are scuba divers, and we love to dive in different places in the world. And so we get the opportunity to travel into kind of remote areas and then also do something that we love to do in diving. Oh, my proudest achievement is my family, my relationship with my husband. I've been married 38 years, and we have two lovely daughters. And professionally, my proudest achievement is an anti-drug program that I started about 20 years ago. It's the AHMA Drug-Free Calendar Contest. And basically what that is that children from kindergarten through 12th grade participate in a poster contest which has an anti-drug theme and sometimes a self-esteem theme, and they draw posters and they're judged and locally, and the winning posters locally are sent into Washington, D.C., where they're judged on a national level, and 14 are picked and made into a calendar every year, and those then are distributed throughout the affordable housing communities. The winner is given a trip to Washington, D.C. with their parents, and they spend a week in our nation's capital. They visit their representatives of the area they're from. They visit the Capitol. They visit all the monuments. It's a tremendous trip, and they have a lot of fun at it as well. The other winners are actually given scholarships for various amounts, depending on where they're from and what the local organizations do as far as the amounts of money they give. No, I wouldn't. I have been blessed with a wonderful life, a phenomenal husband, beautiful children. Our daughters, Gianna and Tressa, work with us. I couldn't be happier. I am very, very blessed. Set goals, set short-term goals, set long-term goals, and then have a plan of action to meet those goals. I think that's very important, and that's what helped me get to where I am today.